So my alias is the Brick Educator. I'm a certified Lego education teacher trainer. So it's my job to go around schools and train teachers, education professionals, and home educated families how to use Lego in the classroom to aid the curriculum. One of my practices is with special needs schools, and we do a lot of Lego therapy. So that is, as a term, a use for them for communication, for stress management, for general communication as well, and team building exercises. From that, when I spoke to the Middlesex team, thank you to start for having me. It's really, I'm super excited to basically share Lego toys, kind of what it is, and in essence, what Lego can actually be, like the power of Lego and how it can be used. So before we get started, a few things about Lego. So if you didn't already know, Lego is a Danish toy company. The term Lego actually means play well. So it's legot, so it's Lego in Danish. And in Latin, it also means to collect. So completely by fluke, they didn't intentionally think that in Latin, but the play well in Danish was key for their brand identity. In the Q&A box, I've got a quick question. 10 seconds. I have a 2x4 Lego brick here. If I had 6 of these bricks, how many different combinations can I make? So with just 6 of these bricks, they're 2 studs by 4 studs long. How many different combinations can I get if I put them all together? So opening up the Q&A so we can have a look. Okay, so someone's put 12, 48, good guesses. Any higher? 56, thank you. I'll take 2 more guesses before I give the answer. The answer may surprise you as well. Good. 64, okay. Any advance on 64? Okay, so I'll give you the answer. The answer is actually 915 million combinations. Don't forget, there's 6 studs on every single brick. They can all connect at different angles. They can connect high, low, left, right, upside down, kind of, it doesn't have to be a full connection. So this very clever maths person worked out, yes, 915 million different combinations you can make just with 6 Lego bricks, which really shows the power that you can do with these bricks. Lego are also the largest producer of rubber tires in the world. So forget about Michelin, forget about Ford and all these different companies that build cars. Lego produced the largest amount of rubber tires in the world. And here's my little friend, here's my little mini figure. To the nearest 4 billion minifigures in the world, which actually makes them the largest community of characters, if you want to call them characters, or people, I refer them to, especially when I'm working with children. I make sure that they all have characters and identities, and we make them help us in our sessions. So over 4 billion minifigures in the world, which makes them the largest population in the world. So how can Lego be used for mindfulness? It's all about finding a focus and thinking of what makes you calm. So mindfulness, in essence, is the practice of being aware of your body, mind, and feelings in the present moment. It's thought to create a feeling of calm. What it isn't doing is solving your problems. It is there to help you with the feeling of anxiety, with the feeling of stress, and being able to really absorb your emotions and really think about how you're feeling. So what mindfulness does, in comparison to something like meditation, you're not forgetting how you're feeling. It's all about really embracing those feelings. And the most important thing is not to judge how you're feeling. So one of the questions from before was, you get shouted at and you feel a bit silly for overreacting. It's your reaction. You shouldn't be judging the way you react to that situation. What you should be thinking about is, what made me overreact? At what level did it really affect me? And then thinking about that emotion may help you then in the future. So it's about being mindful and not forgetting about, and not trying to forget about the reaction you actually had. So in terms for using toys and to using Lego as a mindfulness technique, in the Q&A, what I'd like you to do is just think of activities that you do that helps you focus on something. So as an example, it could be going for a walk. It could be doing yoga, doing exercise. It could be gardening, watching films, going to the cinema. Obviously, we haven't been able to do it recently, but at home, chuck on a Netflix, watch some documentaries, watch some TV shows, focusing, baking, social media. So in the Q&A, what do you think? What are your focuses that you've been using, especially during the lockdown? What activities have you done that really help you kind of focus on something? It's got strength workout, yep, baking and cooking. Thank you, guys. Anything else? We'll take 3 more examples to think about. Because one thing I've really got into recently is jigsaw puzzles. They just really help me focus. You kind of forget about what's going on around you. It's not meditation, but your focus is on that activity. Marianne says going on a run, absolutely. Lifting weights. And then doing, Reese, thank you very much, literally nothing. Very good example. You can just completely lay flat out and do nothing, stare at a wall, and it just helps you focus on how you're feeling in that moment. And all of these things are personal to you. Baking, I absolutely love. My brother hates it. He doesn't understand the theory, doesn't know what he's doing, so he would never do it as a focus exercise. But for me, it works. So it's always individual, it's independent to each person. So the idea of play mindfulness is using these activities and looking at these focuses, but using a toy and really stepping into that childish sort of nature that we all have. As adults, it's really easy to go, I'm not going to play with any toys anymore because I need to be grown up. It's a silly argument. Just get out some Lego, play with if you've got younger sisters and brothers, if you've got Lego yourself, get it out and just build something. The idea of play mindfulness is not to focus on the end product. It's all about the actual practice of just building something. For example, I've got a bag of Lego here. There's no instructions with this, but every now and again, I'll just get this out and just build something random. So I'll just start putting bricks together. And what you're focusing on is the sound of the Lego bricks going together, the feel of them, the actual theory about how it goes onto each other and how they actually connect. So you're not looking to actually create something. You're just looking to actually just be there in the moment, doing an activity whilst thinking about how you're feeling. Like, are you feeling stressed from the day? Are you clenched? Is your jaw clenched? Are you thinking about something else? And that is completely normal. When we talk about the mind wandering, that's what it does. It will go away into some random unknown part of your brain, think about something you've done that day, last week, last month, years ago. I mean, I've been laying in bed before and I think of something I've done back at university. Don't know why I think of it. It just goes into your head and it just plays on your mind. And you might be thinking for that for days. And that's just what the mind does. It wanders around. So when you're doing your activity, just try and bring the focus back and really try and think about why my brain went to that place, what's affected that, and then using a toy, a jigsaw puzzle. It could be doing something like Candy Crush or playing a game on your phone. But for my reason, it would be Lego because it just works so well for me and hopefully for you as well, guys. Just think about how you're feeling in that moment. So obviously I'm on Instagram with my Brick Educator account, and I set the builders on their challenge to basically create something that helps them reflect or helps them embody a feeling or an emotion. So in the Q&A, here's 2 examples. So we have this building here. Obviously, you probably know what it looks like, but I'm not going to give any answers at the moment. So you've got this structure here on the left, and then the structure on the right with the minifigure and the spider in the background. In the Q&A, just put down some ideas of what you think the artist, the builder, was trying to reflect on, or what they were trying to express in these builds. So all the examples I'm going to show today, they are not professional Lego builders. They are just people like you and me. They just have Lego as a hobby. Yep, so Marianne says a fear of spiders, absolutely. So it could be a fear of spiders. Isolation, yeah. Where else have we got? And don't forget, Lego is a form of art, so it's always can be interpreted differently. So these are both correct answers, but they may not be what the artist and what the builder had in mind. Wonder of the world, very nice. Okay, so the artist on the left, for him, this was building the world. And it was his way of reflection on the pandemic, of how we're all going through the same thing and we're all in this together. It isn't just him being affected, it's us as a planet, as a globe, as an earth, all experiencing this problem together. So this was just his way of kind of expressing that emotion of togetherness, building this little globe. It probably took him only half an hour, but for him, it was his mindful technique to really experience this idea of togetherness. That was his reasoning. On the right, with the minifigure and the spider, this builder actually suffers from PTSD, and this is an occurring nightmare he has on a pretty recurrent basis. So when asked to kind of share his feelings of what he's going through, he can't really express it verbally. So what he does is he recreates what he sees and what he imagines in his dreams with Lego bricks. And as you can see, it's quite a dramatic image. It's quite a strong image to look at. But that's his way of dealing with his trauma. So he can use Lego in an easy function. He enjoys the act of building, but it also helps him then focus on the feeling and really share what he's going through. Again, two more examples here. So we've got the minifigure on the bed on the left, and then the minifigure with the reflection on the right. Again, just in the Q&A, couple of words. What to you does this represent? Reese, I feel you. The left one is me sometimes as well. Yeah, done with life, stressed, just want to give up. How about the one on the right? What do you think the image on the right might be showing? Yeah, Z, depression on the left, absolutely. Putting on a brave face. Yeah, well done, guys. So as we said, the artists have their own reasoning to build these, but you guys pretty much nailed it, so well done. So on the left, it's very much had a hard day. They had a really hard day at work. They just needed to build something to de-stress, and they built how they felt with Lego on the left. So literally head in the pillow, just done with the day, and that's it. So and then on the right, yeah, putting on a brave face, not really showing, apologies, not showing your actual emotions. And this idea of we always have to have the stiff upper lip, we can't really express things. And Fika said it really well, the fact that well-being and mental health is so important to talk about. And this artist on the right was able to communicate how they were feeling with their Lego bricks and through that build. So in terms of how you guys can actually use Lego or use a toy to be mindful and have it as an actual exercise, there's 6 steps that we recommend to kind of go through. Number 1 is to get comfy. You don't need to meditate. It's not cross-legged on the floor. It's not anything yoga-y. It's just simply be in a space that you feel comfortable in. Make a phone blocker. Turn it off. Put it in another room. Just disconnect from your phone. On average, everyone checks their phone once every 10 minutes. So unless you're using your phone as the activity, so if it's for a game on your phone, just try and remove yourself from the phone to really be in that moment and kind of understand how you're feeling. And then start to focus. So with Lego bricks, spread the Lego bricks out in front of you on the table. Don't have instructions, and then just literally start to think about what is going on with your body at that point. Am I feeling stressed? Am I tired? Am I hungry? What's happened today that's made me feel the way I am at the moment? And then to start to check in. So once you start actually building, then start to think about how your attitude is changing. So am I becoming less stressed? Am I starting to relax? Am I starting to focus on things? Or is it doing the opposite? Is it making you more stressed because you don't know what you're doing? That's all part of the exercise. It's all part of that idea of being mindful and really knowing how your body is feeling, what it's going through. And then being aware. So as we said, the mind wanders. Just drawing the activity, just try and bring it back to the activity. But what's really important is not to be annoyed with yourself. Don't get stressed and don't add extra pressure onto yourself. If you finish, you finished. If you feel like you finished for the day, fine, finish. It's for your purpose. So don't feel like you owe it to anyone to complete the activity. Make sure that you're aware of how you're feeling and you're happy and comfortable with what you're doing. and then wind down slowly and come back to reality in your own time. So don't do a mindful activity like this and then just jump straight back into doing chores for the day or going into something particularly stressful that you've been putting off. Do the activity a couple more times, do a repetitive activity with Lego, take 3 or 4 Lego bricks and just put them together one after another. Same order, same pattern over and over again. That will eventually get repetitive and quite boring. So once you're ready to finish activity, stop. And at that point, you know you've completed what you need for that session. You can then go back into your day. So that's what we'd recommend in terms for a nice 6-step exercise. It doesn't need to be long. It could be 10 minutes at maximum with Lego, a little bit longer if you're doing like a jigsaw puzzle, but just being aware of how you're feeling and using this game, this toy as a focus to help you get into that situation. So I'll show you some more examples. So I'll probably stop talking now, but we're just going to flick through some different pictures. You don't need to write in the Q&A if you don't want to, but if you'd like to share, please do. So there's the AFOL community. So 10 points. Who can work out what the term AFOL stands for? I'll give you a clue. The L stands for Lego. So if anyone can get it right, bonus points for you. Have a look. The A is adult. Let's see if anyone gets it before I finish. The F. Oh, amazing followers of Lego. Very good, but not quite. It stands for adult fans of Lego. There's a massive community of adult fans who just use Lego for these sorts of adult fun of Lego fans. Well done, guys. So there's a huge community of adult builders. They use Lego as a tool for mindfulness, as a tool for relaxation, and just to play and to show their creative skills. So if you'd like to put some of your thoughts in the Q&A, please do so. But I'm just going to show you these through, and then we'll finish the session in the next couple of minutes. You see, you've got a lady sat in the forest. What could that mean? What do you think the builder's going through? Got a waterfall, a little mini figure with a camera here on the right. Let's see what people have put. This was a challenge I actually set my followers on Instagram. So I'm currently doing a Lego alphabet challenge. So as a mindful activity, I set them a letter of the alphabet, and it's their job to build something with that letter. It gives them a focus, but they will follow the exact 6 steps that we've just gone through. They'll get comfy. They'll have that focus in mind. They'll have their Lego bricks. No instructions. It's just the pure joy of building and putting together. The end goal for these ones does have a finish. So once they finish them, I'll then share it online, and I then share it with my community. But for them, it's that Lego practice, what they could be using. Got Q&A, forest bathing. Here's a great example of how Lego can be used to also show emotion, especially if you struggle with emotions and you struggle kind of communicating how you feel. This is from a school over in New Zealand, and the teacher actually had her students design these minifigures with different emotions. They will then stick this on their desk, and at the start of the day, they'll say how they're feeling. They can then change that throughout the day if their mood improves, if it gets worse, and it really allows them to show how they're feeling, and it allows the teacher to then really engage with them on their level so they know what they're going through. So it's not a building activity, but it's another way how Lego as a brand, as a toy, can be used as a way of dealing with emotions. So a little bit of homework for you guys. So follow the 6 steps. Choose your activity. So it doesn't need to be Lego. It could be any activity from the examples that we've gone through. It could be the exercise, going for a walk, but just really knowing what exercise and what actual focus works for you to get you to really think about how you're feeling. Take a picture of your practice. It could be you doing the activity. It could be the result of the practice. And then document your emotional states before, during, and after the actual focused exercise. So how did you feel before? What did you feel during the exercise? And then what did you feel after the exercise? With that picture, all you have to then do, share it on Instagram. So I'm an Instagram-based channel. So tag my handle, which is @thebrickeducator, and also at Middlesex University. You can then use hashtag MDXLifeSkills and hashtag Lego Mindfulness. We can then share that with the community, and then your builds, your focus, your activities will then inspire other people to do the same. We can hopefully build a nice community of using toys, using Lego, and using play as a way for mindfulness. So the team will share these with you after, so don't worry if you don't get them written down now. Just want to say thank you for you, first of all, to Middlesex University for having me, allowing me to share this experience with you all. And thank you to everyone on Instagram that actually shared builds with me, shared their stories. Some of them, as you see, were quite deep, quite meaningful for them. So I want to say thank you to everyone from the A4 community for sharing. And if you've got any questions, I'm just coming up to my time now, but in the Q&A, if you wanted to ask me anything or send me a message via Instagram. So again, it's @thebrickeducator. More than happy to talk about my work, more what I do, how Lego can help you in different situations as well. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the session.